How we doing, boys? Gabe here again. Just going over another quick guide, this time for the Heal Monk. There are a couple of variations of this guide, but we'll just go over it quickly. In the bottom left hand corner, you're going to see a bit of footage going on concerning the game. This is just gameplay footage. I'm trying to do it to sort of keep it down, keep the play time down a little bit, so on the videos themselves. So yeah, I'll just leave you playing that. All the cyclone striking and all that sort of stuff is me, and I'm just doing this off Flavy's stream. I'll put a link down in the description to her stream as well. I'll also put it in the guide itself on Diablo Fence. But yeah, there's a bit of gameplay footage there for you, so yeah, enjoy it. Basically with this build, I'll go over it, and yeah, we'll teach you how to get these sick life per seconds, which is really important. Okay, so basically this build revolves around life per second. It's really that simple. So you're stacking life per second on everything you can get, plus you're an experienced monk, so you're stacking experience gear and trying to help out your group and stuff like that with overall bonus experience. In general, you're going to run 2 EXP groups, 2 EXPs in groups. Generally you'll have a Sunwiku's monk or a U6 monk, a ZDPS monk, Pool Barb, which is also ZDPS / EXP, and we've got ourselves a damage barb or a witch doctor or something along those lines. It doesn't really matter. Witch doctors are lagging a bit, but you know, a herder or a seismic flame barb both work well. So yeah, anyway, we'll get back into this. So we're stacking life per second, we're stacking experience, and we're stacking cooldown reduction. That's basically it. Yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of it. But at the moment, like, I'm not perfectly geared. I'm okay. Like, I'm more than okay. Like, some of my gear isn't ancient, so on and so forth. But overall, like, you know, I got to farm out some bounty nuts to get some upgrades here and there. But in general, I'm actually in a pretty good spot. So we'll go over the gear straight away. So you're going to want Born's Furious Wrath. Basically, you can roll off the damage range here, you don't need it. Basically you want RCR, cooldown reduction, and preferably life per second if you can get it, but it's not necessarily needed. But the most important stat here is your cooldown reduction, because the only reason you're using this set is the set bonuses, which is the 3 set bonus of cooldown reduction of 10% plus 20% bonus experience to your party. On your weapon, you want either a storm shield or I forgot what it's called. It's like a blocking one that freezes the enemy. But yeah, you want cooldown reduction on this. You can only get to 8% because it's just a standard item. It's not a weapon. But yeah, you want you know, Vit, and you want to be stacking Vit, and your Dex is secondary, but your cooldown reduction is primary. So this is definitely a good weapon to have on here. Your boots. There's variations of this build, so do whatever variation you want. This is just the way I play it. Other people play different ones in the cube, and some people put Crudus boots in the cube. This is just my personal favorite. This is the way I like to play. I got Crudus boots on with regen life, movement speed, dex fit, and secondary res, obviously. This is pretty much a standard. You know, you don't really need the movement speed if you want to put life on there or something like that, but regen life, you want to try and max out your rolls as good as possible. Like, I've got a max roll on these boots for non-ancient, so, and getting ancients is actually imperative because you will get higher bonus stats for your regen on there. So yeah, you want Crudus boots with life per second and Vit and movement speed, and then you adjust your paragons. For your pants, you want Kane's Habit, and once again you want Vit. You want to stack Vit. Armor's okay, you know, it doesn't really bother. It's whatever. So you want Vit and you want life per second with the secondary res. 2 sockets, and putting diamonds in those. For your belt, you're going to want Ina's Favor. Once again, Dex, Vit, and life per second. Hopefully with the secondary res if you can get it. Okay? Really not that hard. Once again, we got Ina's Chest. So we got Dex, Fit, life per second, secondary res. Once again, 3 sockets. Ideal. That's just what you want. You want to try and max out your life per second. Once again, we go up to the helm, and we got Ina's Radiance, which is, once again, you want Fit on here, but this is the best one I've found so far. So you want Dex, Fit, and life per second with secondary res. Okay. The reason why we're using Ina's 3-piece is to get the 4-piece bonus because of the Raw Ring. We want the 4-piece bonus, so you get double the effect of your mystic alloys, plus you also gain all 4 base mantras at the same time just by equipping it. So yeah, it's really overpowered. It's really good for survivability. It's really good for your group. Okay, we got Cane Scavenger, part of the Cane set, and you want Vit, life per second, cooldown reduction, and RCR if you can get it. Obviously secondary res would be ideal as well. So yeah, ideally, once again, you want to max out your life per second, and this is pretty good. I'm happy with this glove. This is pretty much every stat you want. So yeah, and we got Born's Privilege up here. So we got Vit, life per second, cooldown reduction, resource cost reduction, once again, because you're going to be spamming Cyclone Strikes, so on and so forth, and it's just good to minimize how much it costs, so you got more spirit to actually spend on your crowd control. Then we will go over, so the reason we're using the Born set is, one, the 15% life, very nice, but the real one is the 3-set bonus, once again, which reduces your cooldown. 20% bonus experience, same with the Cane set. You've got a nice little bit of attack speed, which you don't really use all that much, but you get bonus experience on this, and this is what we're trying to maximize. We're trying to get that that experience up there and that life per second up there. So here there is 2 options. You can either use, if you're really pushing or something like that, like these are just the best ones I could find, you know. I use them for other things as well. You know, I use these for my U6 build. But yeah, ideally you want Dex Fit and life per second. Ideally with a secondary res, but I don't have it. But yeah, that's what you want. That's what you're looking for. You can also use strong arm braces to use with your proc here on your Cyclone Strike. So yeah, that's definitely an option for you. For your first ring, you're going to want the Auric Signet with Vit, life per second, and cooldown reduction with a socket. So you're going to want a natural socket on this, and you're going to want either cooldown reduction or regen life to roll on here natively. Ideally, you'd want Vit instead of Dex, because you want to stack your Vit as high as possible, because you'll be regenning your whole entire life pool every second. So that's the idea behind it. But yeah, you want to try and max out that increased bonus experience as well, because if you can get that 30, you're maximizing your overall experience gain for the entire party. In the second ring slot, there's 2 options here. If you're lacking CDR, you'll want to go for Obsidian Ring with the Zodiac, just because your Cyclone Strike is going to proc this ring constantly, and it just takes off a second off a random cooldown on your bars. So that's your Inner Sanctuary and your Mystic Ally if you ever use it, and your Epiphany, which is your main spirit regen. So yeah, Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, but if you've got max CDR and you've got no downtime on any of your skills, you can always transfer over to a Hellfire Amulet and get that extra 45. So it's 45, I believe it's 45, I'm pretty sure it is. But on this one, you can't get life per second because you need the socket to roll off, so you're not going to be able to get that. But if you got ideal statting here, you'd have attack speed, you'd have cooldown reduction, and you'd have resource cost reduction, all of which are beneficial to you in this build. So it's not a bad ring. In fact, it's got a lot of utility for you, so it is in your best interest to put this on if you don't have the cooldown reduction, or you do not need the extra experience for whatever reason. Okay, like for example, pushing. If you're doing this in a group, you're probably going to want this over an experience check. Okay, if you're actually doing progression runs or something like that, because you'll get more value out of this overall. As far as the gems are concerned, you're going to want Leoric Signet. In your Leoric Signet, you're going to want a Esoteric Alteration just for the non-physical damage reduction. It's a lot. Get it up there, get it as high as possible, and you will notice your survivability go up a lot. This gem right here, the Molten Wildebeest Gizzard, is one of the gems that makes this build work. So you're maximizing your life per second, which is being benefited across all of your bar. Okay. you're going to want that as high as humanly possible if you can get it. Okay, so max that out as soon as possible if you're wanting to actually do this build. Moving up to the neck, you're going to there's two variations of this. You can either run Stricken for the extra stacks, and when you're doing progression runs you probably will, because your Cyclone Strike actually applies Stricken. Okay, the second option is if you want that extra 10% damage and a bit of a bleed going on, which you're not going to really use the bleed, because ideally you're going to roll that damage range off anyway. Ideally, you know, this is just for the extra 10% damage. That's all it is. So yeah, so in total we've got, for our set bonuses, we've got Ina's 4-piece, so that gives us all 4 mantras, and the base effect of our Mystic Allies is double. We've got Dawn's Furious Wrath 3-piece for the extra 10% cooldown reduction and the 20% bonus experience. We've got Kane's 3-piece, once again for the 50% bonus experience. And we've got bonus experience here, and ideally we would have bonus experience here. You just need to make sure you have the cooldown reduction to justify it. Okay, over in the cube we've got the Royal Ring of Grandeur as our ring, which basically makes this build work as far as actual set bonuses and maximizing your experience you get per run. That is ideal. So once again we've got Leoric's Crown here. There's a variation to this and I'll explain it in a second, but the Arc's Crown basically doubles the effect of whatever gem you have in your helm, which is a ruby for, once again, maximum experience. So instead of getting 41, you get 82. Okay, so it's really, really good for experience run. Then you got an Ingium, so when you kill those blue packs, so on and so forth, you're generally avoiding yellow packs if you can, but when you kill those blue packs, you're really going to get, you know, a massive chunk of cooldown reduction just based off this. So you're going to get 10 seconds off every cooldown on your bar here, so that's really going to help. But into the variation of this build, and the variation is quite simple. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to change this into a Laws of Seth, okay, which gives, every time you spend use Blinding Flash, you get 165 spirit returned to your spirit pool, and you're going to drop out Dashing Strike for Blinding Flash, obviously, and then you'd go Soothing Light because it's the most beneficial to this party, which means it actually goes off your life per second, so you increase the amount of life regeneration you actually have on your bar. So if you have a look at my life per second here, it's about 857k per second, right? If I trigger this, it goes up into the billion. By a long shot, up into the billion. You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't even register here. So it's really, 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 and when you're doing those pushing runs, this is the variation you're going to take, the Blinding Flash variation. Plus, see, it's up into the billions, 1.2, goes right up there. Okay, that's a lot of spirit. Nobody's got 1 billion, you know, health, you know what I mean? So you're healing your whole spirit pool every fucking time. It's into the millions, sorry, beg my pardon. But yeah, the idea is to be able to spend all your spirit, okay? So my spirit's down, and then use Blinding Flash, fills it up, so you got a bit more utility, plus your life per second will increase, just based on that. Okay, that's the variation of the build. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the riff that's actually playing in the background here play out. But yeah, this is the build. It's really, really simple, and I might take you into it. No, actually I won't. I'll let the gameplay do the talking for you. But yeah, stack life per second, cooldown reduction, RCR, and VIT, and get those set bonuses. And you can only build these sets by using bounty mats, so you need to collect bounty mats to actually build this set effectively. So yeah, as long as you're rifting in a good way, you're going to be absolutely fine, and you'll keep your whole team alive. You just got to watch out for like certain artifacts, just like molten that you can't see, so on and so forth. But in general, you're going to be sweet. So yeah, I'm actually going to do another build, another guide to how to play the monk, you know, effectively and stuff like that. I'm going to get footage for it, and I'm going to build it, and I'm going to do the same for the U6 build, both in group play and solo play. I'm going to do how to play a greater rift guide. I've got a lot of plans coming up, So there's going to be a few video guides coming out, and I'll link them all in each guide I do on Diablo fans, so on and so forth. So yeah, just stay tuned, give us a sub, give us a like if you liked it, give us a dislike if you don't like it, hit that comment section if you've got any questions, or you want to give me a piece of advice, so on and so forth. But yeah, actually, shit, I should go over my skills really quick, I forgot that. So we got Cyclone Strike and Implosion, create density. It's that simple, boys. And it procs your strong arms if you're wearing strong arms. It also has I'm missing something here, where is it? 6 cents. Strong arms. So yeah, it procs your strong arms. If not, it just creates density. You got your Inner Sanctuary, Forgotten Palace for your damage mitigation, both for you and your party, and it also gives a damage amp. You got Insight for speeds. You'd change this to Desert Shroud for non-speeds, just so you know. Like progression runs, you'd change this to Desert Shroud, so up in those 70s, 80s, so on and so forth. When you're leveling gems and stuff like that, you'll be using Desert Shroud instead. Here you'll be using either Blinding Flash, Seething Light if you've got Laws of Seth and you're using the utility build. You'll be doing this if you've got Dashing Strike in its place. If not, you'll be using Dashing Strike, Blinding Speed, okay, just for a bit more mobility if you're doing speed farming, okay. Enduring Ally, it allows you to get Spike, and it also increases your life per second, okay, so that gets doubled because of your set bonus from your Enans. Mantra of Healing gives a small shield to every member of your party on activation, and it also increases your life per second, and once again you gain every effect because of the Ena set. You got Beacon of Ytar for the cooldown reduction. You got Harmony for your single res stacking, and it goes across all stats. You got 6 notes for your non-physical damage reduction, and you got Chant of Resonance for minimizing your spirit spending here whenever you use your activation. Like if you're using the Insight rune, like you're literally going to be out healing your like you won't spend as much as you're making here, so you can have a constant shield up as long as you've got your Epiphany running. You're going to have, like, my Epiphany dropped off, now it's going down again, and when it re-triggers it'll just fill straight back up and I won't be able to outspend it. Make sense, guys? Cool. Yeah, you can always go for Exalted Soul if you want a bigger pool or something like that. There's a lot of different variations in here. When you're doing Greater Rift progression pushing, you'll be running Resolve. That's for damn sure you'll be running Resolve, okay, because that gives a damage reduction to every enemy hit by your Cyclone Strike. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'll run over Paragons really quick. Movement speed and Vit. That's it. You don't need the maximum spirit pool, and you don't need the dex at all. Offense, all you're really here for is the cooldown reduction and the attack speed. In fact, you can actually get rid of all these stats and just put it in there, and that's it. Leave these two dead. You're not adding any damage to the group, so you don't need it. So yeah, you can leave your stats completely out of here. Defense, just go resist, life per second, resist all life, armor, okay. And in here you want to leave your area damage gone at this point in time, because there's actually a little bit of a bug going on in the PTR not in the PTR, in live servers, that area damage is actually causing lag, and it's broken anyway. You're not actually here to add damage, so take that calculation off your table. So your server, you're going to have a smoother gaming experience if you take it off. It's going to be a small amount of gaming experience increase, but it's going to be enough. Gold fine, you don't get them in Greater Rift, so don't worry about it. Ideally you're just going to go life per hit and resource cost reduction. It's the only two you're getting any utility from, so yeah. Just stack it up, and that's it. That's pretty much the gist of it. Alright, boys, I'm not sure whether this is going into another rift. Hope it is, because I'll let that play out if it is, and I'll just maximize the screen. No, it's the end of the rift. So yeah, that's basically the build, boys. I hope you enjoyed it. That's my pretty little monk, and yeah, I'll see you later. Like if you like it, dislike if you disliked it. Throw a comment in the description, give us a sub. I'll link all my I'll link the Diablo fans guide. Give us a follow on there. Go read over the guide. I'm actually taking a lot more time on my read guide, so you'll notice that. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. I'll put those all down in the description. Just go across to them and just give them a like and a dislike if you want to see more from me, boys. That's it. I'm out. You guys have fun. This build is really good. Like, I'm pushing 65 speeds, 60 to 65 speeds with this, no problem at all. And I'm rarely dying. I can run around with full stacks and be absolutely fine. As far as bonus experience is concerned, not die. And I can keep pretty much every member of my party alive as long as they don't do something stupid. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, boys, that's me. I'm out. See yous on the flip side.